Have you ever wondered about the stories lost to time? The civilizations that rose and fell, leaving behind only whispers in the wind. Today, we journey back thousands of years to uncover the heart-wrenching story of a forgotten people, a tribe whose world crumbled into dust. A story we'll call the Tears of the Last Tribe. Imagine a lush valley, nestled between protective mountains, cradled by a river that glittered like a silver serpent. This was the home of the Sunstone people, a tribe known for their intricate obsidian tools and their deep connection to the land. For generations, they thrived. Their lives were a rhythm of seasons, of hunts in the sprawling grasslands, and of stories told under a canopy of brilliant stars. They believed their ancestors' spirits resided in the very soil beneath their feet, in the whispering leaves of the ancient trees, and in the life-giving waters of the river. This wasn't just land to them. It was their past, their present, and their future. But the world is never static. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, their paradise began to change. The rains, once as reliable as the sunrise, grew sparse and unpredictable. The vibrant green of the valley started to fade, replaced by the dull, muted tones of brown and yellow. The great river, the lifeblood of their community, shrank with each passing season. Its once mighty current slowed to a tired trickle, leaving behind cracked, thirsty earth where fish once swam. The animals they depended on, the great herds of deer and bison, started to disappear, migrating in search of greener pastures that no longer existed here. For the elders of the Sunstone people, the signs were terrifying. They read the changes not just as a drought, but as a deep wound in the world itself. The stories they told their children around the fading campfires began to change. The triumphant tales of heroic hunters were replaced by somber prayers to the sky, begging for rain. They performed ancient rituals, offering their most precious carvings and tools to the earth, hoping to appease the spirits they felt they had angered. Yet, the sun beat down relentlessly. The ground grew harder, and the sky remained a stark, unforgiving blue. Hope began to curdle into despair. The tribe's hunters, once proud providers, returned with empty hands and heavy hearts. The laughter of children, which used to echo through the village, was replaced by a hollow silence, punctuated by the weak cries of hunger. The vibrant community, once bound by shared prosperity, was now bound by shared suffering. Tensions grew. Some argued they should leave, abandon the home of their ancestors, and venture into the unknown in a desperate search for a new beginning. Others, led by the elders, refused. To them, leaving was unthinkable. It meant severing their connection to their ancestors, abandoning their identity, and letting their legacy turn to dust. "This is our home," they would say, their voices cracking with emotion. To leave is to die a different kind of death. Their world had shrunk to a desperate struggle for survival. Every drop of water was precious, every edible root a treasure. The intricate art of stone carving, once the pride of their culture, was forgotten. There was no time for beauty, only for survival. They watched as the last of the ancient trees in the valley withered and died, their bare branches clawing at the empty sky like skeletal fingers. It felt as if the world itself was holding its breath, waiting for the end. The river was now just a memory, a ghost of what it once was. One day, a young woman named Alara, known for her sharp eyes and resilient spirit, climbed to the highest peak overlooking the valley. She stared at the desolate landscape, the place that had been a paradise in her grandmother's stories. The stories felt like myths now. With a heavy heart, she realized the elders' faith could not conjure water from stone. Staying meant perishing. She returned to the camp, not with food, but with a painful truth. She spoke of a world beyond the valley, a world that might offer a chance, however slim. Her words divided the remaining survivors. It was a choice between a certain end in a familiar home and a terrifyingly uncertain future in a foreign land. The tribe fractured. A small, desperate group, led by Alara, decided to leave. They gathered what little they had, a few tools, some dried roots, and the heavy weight of their memories. The parting was not angry, but filled with a profound, soul-crushing sadness. Those who stayed behind watched them go, their figures shrinking against the vast, empty horizon until they disappeared completely. It was a silent acknowledgement that the Sunstone people as a unified tribe, were no more. They were now just scattered fragments of a broken pot. We don't know what happened to Alara and her followers. Did they find a new valley? Did they assimilate into another tribe, their unique culture dissolving like salt in water? Or did the harsh wilderness claim them? Their story is lost to the winds of history. And what of those who stayed? Remained loyal to their ancestors and their land until the very end. Their final days were likely spent in the shadow of their dying home, their existence fading until the last fire went out. The last story was left untold, and the last sunstone person took their final breath. Archaeologists, centuries later, might find their obsidian tools, their faded rock art, and the bones of their last settlement. They would label them, categorize them, and speculate about their lives. But they could never truly know the depth of their love for their home, the agony of their loss, or the tears they shed as their world ended. This story is a powerful reminder that our planet is a delicate and ever-changing place. The climate that nurtures a civilization can also be the force that brings it to an end. The Sunstone people aren't just a relic of the past. They are a cautionary tale for the future, a whisper from history reminding us of our own fragility in the face of a changing world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the past. If this story moved you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more tales lost to time. We all have a story to tell, and every story deserves to be heard. See you next time.